So one of the issues with this pattern that I see is that we scroll in quite close. For instance, our shoulder points here, we look here, are not at a right angle. We can actually look at that angle itself by clicking on our edit pattern with a left click, selecting edit pattern, and then clicking on that point, and it gives us the value of that angle, which is 81, which is much smaller than 90. Relatively speaking. So if we want to have that shoulder point at a right angle, which we should do, we can see if we scooch in on our avatar that we are getting a bad sew line there. It looks like a bit of a peak. By cleaning this curve up or making this more of a right angle, that would improve the situation a lot. So to do that, again, we go back into our edit pattern, select the point of interest with our left button, and then right click. And that brings up our menu. Select perpendicular pattern corner. And it's going to give you some options here. I can see when I scroll in that it is giving me a red point along my shoulder line. I would like to actually make the adjustment to create a right angle by adjusting the curve of my armhole. And so I would switch the direction from start to end in this case. And I'd like this to extend more than just less than a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to have this extend by 1 inch. And you can see where that red dot goes. It extends the right angle quite a distance. And you can make that even more if you want. I'm not sure it goes to 3. Okay. Can it go to 4? No. 3 seems to be the end point of that. And that might be specific to the different values. So I'm going to go with 2 inches here. That looks about right to me. And then I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to change that value to create a right angle. And I can see that a right angle has been formed because it gives me a little box as a baseline. Okay. If you make additional changes to that corner and it's no longer a right angle, unfortunately, that baseline of a box will still remain there. So it's a little bit misleading, but that's for now that we know that that's a correct value. If we go and check our back point here, where this is going to be sewn to, we can see it's a little bit less than 90-degree angle, or a little bit more than 90-degree angle. And so we can still repair that by right-clicking, going to perpendicular pattern corner, and using the same function. Instead of doing an adjustment along the shoulder, I'm going to adjust along the armhole. So I select end, which shifts our line down here. And again, I'm going to change the length of that to 2 inches. And I can do additional curve adjustments after that. Okay, and so now if we simulate and look at that sleeve how it was before, like a little bit of a peak, hopefully that will improve it a bit more. It does not, but there's other things going on there. I can see that at least the seam is not a peak anymore. There's just some business. It's not a very good sleeve shape to begin with. So that's more of the problem. But that's how you do a perpendicular pattern corner, or what is also known as creating a right angle at that location.